Hey guys, we are in Liverpool today and it's a beautiful day. So Jason has agreed to give me like a little bit of a Beatles tour of Liverpool, but he wants to show me all like hidden spots that aren't on normal tourist maps. He's a huge Beatles fan, knows a ton about this stuff. We've got our flasks of whiskey, but we're gonna be stopping in a ton of pubs along the way as well. And yeah, you're going to be my tour guide for the day. Is that cool?
Welcome to the Beatles Drinking Tour, Part 1.
Excellent. Oh, God, it's so nice here. We are obviously traveling in our camper van, the Clubhouse, and we've parked it up by Sefton Park because it's just so beautiful here. Sefton Park has free parking, and there's always a ton of camper vans down this whole strip. And I love to wake up in the morning and go for a little walk. There's like flowers out, birds singing. It's just such a nice place. And for the start of our Beatles tour, it's like a really nice sized walk into town. You get a little bit of park action before you get into the downtown area.
This is the entrance to Prince's Park. We're gonna walk through this one on our way to our first stop, which is going to be Ringo's birthplace.
Yes, just off of Prince's Avenue.
Where we used to live.
We used to live there.
And Prince's Park, this is where we used to come and hang out when we were during the COVID time, which is when we were living in Liverpool.
Remember the time that you were really pissed and climbed over these gates in the middle of the night, then went and had a swim in the lake?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was something. That was one of the stories I hoped we weren't going to tell.
You can cut it out.
This is the corner of Ringo's Street.
What street? Do we have a street sign here? Oh, we do. It's up here. Let's see. High Park Street.
Madron Street, where Ringo was born. He was born at number 9. Now these buildings have all been fixed up a lot.
Right.
Even up until about 6 years ago, these are all just really run down, and
some of these windows are all bricked over now.
But
number 9, right here with the red door.
Yeah, the one with the red door there. That was the house. That was where Ringo lived when he was born. But it was really, really run down. This is considered like the worst part of Liverpool back then. Then his mother met a nice fella, got married, and they were able to move. Now, all the Beatles biography books that I read said, oh, then they got to move to a better part of town, which I always assumed was, oh, they've gone to some completely different area. But actually, you see where we're walking now, just out of here. See where the Ringo mural is on that building? He moved to that street right there.
That's the better part of town?
That's the better part of town he moved to. Basically across the road and up one block.
Well, this does look like a main street. Maybe that's like the dividing line for like a better neighborhood or something like that.
And I'll tell you, this building, this was the pub. Oh my God, what was it called?
The Empress.
The Empress, that's
right.
It
says on it. I remember.
And this was where Ringo's mother worked.
Right.
She was a barmaid here.
When we first moved to this area, it was still open, and we went for a drink here.
We used to come here all the time, yeah.
But I think
and
it's
then
closed
also,
now.
This building was on the album cover of Ringo's Sentimental Journey album.
Are you opening things up in here again?
I'm open.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're open for drinks?
No, not drinks. It's a barber shop.
Barber. Oh. Can we come in and have a look around?
Yeah.
I've just been speaking to this gentleman now, and he's opened it back up. I bet it's a barber shop. He said we could come in and look, though. Oh, wow. I love how you have it still set up like a bar, but like this doesn't pour Carling? That's disappointing.
Unfortunately, it doesn't.
See, that would be the ultimate, would be to like have a haircut and get a drink at the same time.
Well, I've got bottle beers.
Ah.
Well, we used to live around the corner from here. We used to come here all the time when it was a
It
pub.
was the Empress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is cool though. Very nice. Do you cut women's hair as well or just men?
It shows.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so now we'll go to the house that Ringo actually moved to.
Can we see this mural from this angle? This is so amazing. Look at that. Man, that would have been hard to paint something that scale, that size.
And they did
There's
it quick too. They were just
Don
starting
Kosha.
it one year. We left for 3 months to go play in the Canaries. When we came back, it was all done.
Okay.
It's this one here, number 10.
Number 10.
Yeah.
And so who lived here? Ringo and his mom? Did he have siblings or something?
No, I think he was an only child, Ringo. And his stepdad.
That'd be close to get to work if you were working at the Empress right there. Just, you could like literally leave 2 minutes before you started work and there you go.
All right. Now on to the home of 2 other Liverpool celebrities, Jamie and Jason from April Moon.
So this is quite cool. Let me tell you about this. This is like an old drinking fountain from back in the 1800s, from before people had like running water in their homes. All these houses down here were all built by shipping companies for their family, for the guys working at the shipyards and their families. And you actually have a photo, hey, that you found that lines this up, this photo or this fountain from the 1800s. And look it up here, there's liver birds on the wrought ironwork. Wow.
And just down from here is another important Liverpool landmark. It's the April Moon drinking bench, where during lockdown, our flat was in one of these buildings here. I'm not going to say which one because we don't want tourists bothering the locals that live there now. But it was one of these flats. And then during lockdown, when we got sick of being cooped up, we come sit down here on our drinking bench.
Yeah, which actually features in The Ballad of Johnny West, our stick puppet cowboy musical.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
sit and have a break.
Do we have our? Do we have a drink to have on the bench?
Yeah, our flasks, remember?
Ooh.
Get them out. This is yours. Definitely just water, which is, it's whiskey.
This is what happens when the Empress isn't a pub anymore.
That's
We
right.
have to make
yeah.
our own pub.
Since it's such a nice day, I was thinking about bringing some boozy juice, like our forgiveness juice, like we usually do. But we noticed that it was making our water bottles taste like juice, like the residual taste. So we have ordered some special bottles that say forgiveness juice for when we go out day drinking.
And we've ordered enough so that you fine people can order one too if you want when they become available.
We have a couple extra because I don't know how many people will want matching water bottles for us. How many people like to have boozy juice in the daytime? Is that a thing?
Lots of you, I bet you, if you're watching these videos. Also, we do have in the description of every video, there's a link that you can buy us a beer.
That's right. I forgot about that.
You click on that, you
Buy us a beer.
spend a couple of
And
pounds or
subscribe.
dollars or whatever you got, and plus like and subscribe, of course.
All that stuff.
Right, on we go.
On we go.
On we go. The Liverpool Anglican Cathedral.
You come around the corner, it just like looms up.
And what's the Beatle connection, you ask? Well, right across the street is Gambier Terrace. This street contains the flat that John Lennon and Stu Sutcliffe shared when they were both attending Liverpool Art College.
They were roommates?
Well, Stu had two roommates that he had to get their permission to have a homeless John Lennon come and stay. So yeah, from then on they were roommates, you could say that. They lived in number 3, if we can find number. Oh, here we go.
This
right
one here?
Yeah.
Looks like there's a bunch of doorbells on number 3, though. Is there like a bunch of rooms in there or something?
Well, I don't know what the deal is now, but this is where they lived. Oh, could be time for a cider.
An infomercial? Premium cider, mixed fruit. Ah, perfect for a sunny day in Liverpool. Oh, that's good. So, how long did they live here? Is it a couple of years down here? Or?
Yeah, he spent a couple of years in art college. And that's it was during that period that he convinced Stu to play bass guitar
Oh,
in
yeah.
his band. Which Stu had never played a musical instrument before. So it was interesting.
Huh.
He had sold a painting and Lennon convinced him to use the money to buy a bass.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever been up there before to the top?
No.
I think you can go at like sunset. Do like a sunset tour.
If I was heading up there for sunset, it'd be tomorrow by the time I got there.
Yeah, there's an elevator. I'm sure there's an elevator.
This is the art college. John Lennon, Stu Sutcliffe, and a young Cynthia Powell went to school. There's a picture of John and Cynthia posing with a car just down this road right down here.
Oh, there's the sign. Liverpool Institute and School of Art.
And just down here, when John Lennon finally convinced Cynthia Powell to go on a date with him, basically they just left the college and came around the corner onto Rice Street, right here, to have a little drink at a pint called The Crack. Now the sign says "Ye Crack," but that's because back in the Middle Ages, a Y made a TH sound, so it was still pronounced The Crack,
The
even
Crack.
though it has a Y there.
Huh. That's confusing.
Is it?
Well, for us, I guess. Now, the sad thing about this pub is even though it's been open for like,
A long
obviously a long time, I heard that they're closing up next week, that they've had to sell out. As you know, like a lot of pubs now are not doing so good. But we're going to go in and see if we can get a drink before it closes. And yeah, I love this spot. Okay. Okay. There you go. Ooh-wee. Yes. Indeed. That's what I said to Hilda. I mean, indubitably.
So this road right here is where we learned how you shouldn't ride a electric scooter on a cobblestone street.
Because it feels like your teeth are gonna rattle right out of your face. I had to get off the scooter and walk it the rest of the way because it was too bumpy. So,
The Philharmonic Pub. April Moon Connection. Robert Kane built this pub, and we have a song named Robert Kane. How about that?
I didn't know this is a Robert Kane pub.
It is. And Beatle Connection. This was John Lennon and Sue Sutcliffe's favorite pub to come to. There's a
But-
quote that is attributed to John Lennon that says, "The price of fame is not being able to nip down to the Philly for a pint." Was it really said by him? I couldn't confirm that.
Okay, so there is also a bit of modern history. That's not Beatles, but it's Paul McCartney, so it still counts. And that happened here. If you guys have seen that show Carpool Karaoke with that guy,
James Corden.
James Corden, they have like their whole thing where they drive around and blah, blah, blah. But then at the end of the episode, people are just drinking inside the Philharmonic, and there's like, what is it? Like there's a jukebox and people can put money in the jukebox, and then when the song starts playing, instead of it playing from the jukebox, a curtain pulls back and there is Paul McCartney with his band playing the song, I think. Is that how it all
that's
happened?
how it happened. Yep. You can find that episode on YouTube as well if people are interested.
Sure. Are we going in for a drink or are we going to carry on? What's your thing?
You know what? I feel like we need a drink. I'm kind of thirsty.
Okay.
All right.
Some people got a house full of gold. All I need is a hand to hold. I'm giving you mine, you're giving me yours. We're getting a boat and we're throwing away yours. We're just hanging out with Robert Kane. He promised us that everything will stay the same. Eat, drink, be married too. Maybe in the morning I will marry you. Ooh, Robert Kane. Ooh, Robert Kane. Ooh, Robert Kane. We're just hanging out with Robert Kane.
We are downtown now.
Yeah. Getting close to the downtown. We are at the bombed out church. This has always been one of our favorite spots to just come and sit on the steps and have a can of cider.
Yeah, I think we're going to take a break from the Beatles stuff for a few minutes and like just chill and watch the world go by.
During
Classy
World War
can of
II,
cider.
some bombs hit this church and demolished the roof. And they decided not to rebuild. They figured, now let's leave
This
it
is
there
our
like
spot
that.
here. Oh, look, you can see all the way down Bold Street. That's great. This is one of my favorite streets. There's so many cool vintage shops down here. Lots of good stuff happening. Lots of cool looking people. He's backing up even further. Got this. Ah, mixed fruit cider. Aw, they didn't wave. Hey, look, there's a fire.
Oh yeah.
That's where the fire engine was heading. Something is burning the fuck up.
But it's got nothing to do with Beatles, so you won't see
You
nothing
won't see
about
it. No, let's cut. Let's.
This is Bold Street.
This is Maggie Mays, who serves Liverpool's specialty, which is scouse.
Scouse tastes like the stew your mother would make if cooking was not her strong suit.
Yeah, it's like potatoes and sometimes meat and carrots and onion and
Liverpool people are going to get
Fish.
mad. Liverpool people, don't give us angry comments. Our
Well,
fragile egos can't take
no, look
it.
at all these different crazy restaurants all along here. There's a whole bunch of amazing ones. So it means that they like lots of good food. They have good taste, but it's just that their official food sucks.
And that's what we have to say about that.
Did you know that this is the first Taco Bell that George Harrison ever tried Mexican food in?
Now, you know they didn't discover Mexico until 1971, so what are you even talking about? Church Street, which we've always just called the walking street.
Yes, because you walk on it, you can't drive on
Can't-
the street.
You can't drive, you gotta walk. So now we are on our way,
Kind of the Cavern Quarter area, which is obviously like
Matthew Street.
Matthew Street. That's kind of the hub of Beatlesology.
It's
Is
like,
that a
yeah,
word? Yeah.
Beetle tourists that come here, it's kind of their mecca, you know, Matthew Street.
Sure.
We're just gonna go to one place on Matthew Street because we are gonna do a whole Matthew Street episode. There's so many places there with Beatle connections. Hey, this is our friend Johnny.
Johnny!
Look you in the eye. I've just been talking about you too.
How you doing?
You're just like an angel.
I don't know the words though.
It makes you cry.
Here.
Yeah, you float like a feather.
Sure.
Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly. Into the light of the dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to rise. You were only waiting for this moment to rise. You were only waiting for this moment to rise.
Yay!
Give us some more, go on.
Woo!
So that little bit was just us having a quick drink in Weatherspoons because my camera mic died. Little
Yes.
did I know that you're supposed to take the plastic off the little charger thing. I've been charging it now for a couple of weeks, and it turns out I wasn't charging it at all.
Sure. All that.
All that stuff. Okay, so this row of buildings, this building
Wait,
here,
should I demonstrate? Like,
this used to be Brian Epstein's record shop. But
and who is he for the audience that doesn't know?
well, he was the fellow that managed the Beatles, and
Interesting.
then it became a Forever 21, and now it's a Next.
You know the whole
But
history.
they tore the original building down. This is a different building.
This is some cheap replica.
And then they put a statue of Brian Epstein right over here. But they made him freakishly tall. I don't know.
Feels
Oh,
like,
Brian.
yeah, he's quite the giant. Frosty.
In
too.
real life, he was even taller.
What's he got in his hand? It's like a secret message. What is it? Oh, Brian, you're full of secrets, you are.
Right, we're going to head into Matthew Street. So we'll go for a drink in Matthew Street. But then I think we'll wrap up this one because We're gonna do a whole Matthew Street one in part 2, I think.
Oh, that's right. Jason said he has like a lot of specific Matthews Street Beatles stories.
I do.
Also, I feel like my lips aren't moving as well now. I've had a bit to drink, and I feel like this story should be left till another day. So we're gonna do part 2.
Yeah. So which bar should we have a drink in now?
I don't know. Let's take a walk up and down and see if there's any playing good music. There's a lot of random stuff happening here.
Some people got a house full of gold. They traded all of his for a hand to hold. Never looks back, never gets old. Never lets the man get a hold of his soul. We're just hanging out with Robert Kane. He promised us that everything would stay the same. Eat, drink, be married too. Maybe in the morning I will marry you. Ooh, Robert Kane. Ooh, Robert Kane.
For now, we've been Jamie and Jason traveling around the world.
Playing songs and drinking.
Jimmy and Jason travel around the world, playing songs and drinking.